Students, today we are going to learn about the parts of the cell. In the previous class, we have discussed how the cell has different forms. It may have different sizes, it may have different shape, and also not in all the organisms the number of cell will be same. Basing upon the different types, we have categorized them. We have learned what is unicellular organism, what are multicellular organism. We have also seen the examples for the different shape of cells, for different size of cells as well. And along with that, we have discussed about the egg. The egg is a single cell, and from that only the multicellular organisms, they are evolved. So that was the short summary of what we have done in our previous. After that, today we will be learning the different parts of cell. So you will look in the over here, you will see all cells have same basic structure called generalized cell. So according to this, we can say that the cell may have different size, it may have different shape, there may be different numbers of cell present, but the basic structure of the cell will always remain same. For all the cell, there is a basic structure. That means there are some common structure which will always be present in the cells. So we are going to discuss those basic structure today. So here you see these basic structure, and only that particular structure we will call as the generalized cell. That is, without any specialization, if we consider the normal cell, we will call it as the generalized cell. And remember, this basic structure will be there for each and every cell. It is present in all the cells. So the basic structure are the three main parts. That is, the first one is the cell or the plasma membrane. The second one is the cytoplasm, and the third being the nucleus. The cell or the plasma membrane is this outer covering or the outer layer of the cell. This is like a covering which will separate the inner content of the cell from the outside environment. That means it will contain everything inside it, and it will make sure that the inside things are separate from the outside environment. So basically, the cell or the plasma membrane is this outer portion that you can see I have marked here. It is the outer portion. The second one is the cytoplasm. The cytoplasm is this inner portion. There is a fluid portion. It is liquid. It is fluid. There is a fluid portion inside the plasma membrane. There is the plasma membrane outside. Inside it there is fluid. And that fluid portion where many other substances will remain suspended. That means inside those there will be many other substances. And this fluid structure is called the cytoplasm of the cell. The cytoplasm is contained inside the cell membrane or the plasma membrane. Lastly comes the nucleus. The nucleus is the main functional unit of a cell. This is also called as the brain of the cell, because the nucleus is going to give all the orders. It is going to perform all the functions of the cell. Basically, this is the instructor. We can say that nucleus is the instructor who is going to instruct the other parts of the cell what to do, when to do, and how to do. So these three are the main basic parts, and we called together these three parts as generalized cell. So after that, we will be discussing these three in details. After seeing what are the different parts, now we will move on to the plasma membrane. So here you see the cell or the plasma membrane. As we have seen, it is the outer covering of the cell. It is the outermost covering as well as it is a thin covering. It is thin. Okay, remember it is a thin outer covering of the cell. The next thing is that it is porous. Porous means it has holes or it has pores. So how it will look? It will not look like this continuous, but there will be pores here. That means there will be holes here which will allow substances to move in and out of the cell. So if I see like that, you see it will be porous like that. It will have holes, tiny holes, through which the substances can move in as well as they can move out of it. Now, not everything can move inside and not everything can come outside. So that will be another character, that is, it is semi-permeable. Semi-permeable means it is not allowing everything to come in and out of it. It will allow only selective material. Like you see, only selective materials will be allowed to pass across this cell or plasma membrane. And through what it will pass? It will pass through these small pores that are present. So it is a thin covering, it has pores, and it will allow only selective material to move in or to move out. Now let us look at the function. Some of the main function is it will give shape to the cell. So you see, if the plasma membrane looks like this, so it is giving a round shape to the cell. If the cell is elongated, the plasma membrane will also be elongated. It will be long. It will be like more in the length. So according to the plasma membrane also, the cell will get its shape. And also it gives protection. Like we have seen, everything of the cell will be inside the cell membrane. So definitely this has to protect the inner material from the outside environment. Outside, it is not a part of the cell. So we are considering that as an outside environment. And this cell membrane, it is going to protect everything that is inside the cell from the outside environment. So it will give the shape as well as it will give protection to the cell. Lastly, you see, the contents of the cell are enclosed within it. Content means whatever is present inside the cell. Everything will be enclosed. You see, it is enclosed within it. Within it means within the cell or the plasma membrane. So it will contain everything inside of it. So these are the features or the characteristics of the cell or the plasma membrane.